Hi, and welcome to the Business of Being a Virtual Assistant. I'm your host, Tiffany Parson, and you're watching and listening to episode number 290. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into what it looks like when you are focused on deadline-specific projects and your schedule is based on your availability, your time, and when it's best for you to work. One of the key questions when you are taking on deadline specific projects, which can be anything ranging from bookkeeping to social media, to email, to newsletters, to blog posts, to analytics, to data entry, a transcription, a wide variety of services. If it's something that you're able to do on your time, not when the client, expects you to be logged in. When you're able to do it on your time, it could be early morning or late at night or in the middle of the day, you are working with deadline specific projects. One of the key questions your client may ask you in situations like this is, when would you be able to have this done? And then you're able to let them know when when you're able to have it done, or you may ask them, when do you need this by? These are deadline specific type questions versus it's expected for it to be done within the time frame that you're logged in. So this is actually a 1099 situation. Employees are the only ones that should be told what time to come in and what time to go. If you're getting a 1099, but you're being told that, you're not a 1099 worker. Because if you didn't show up at that particular time, they'd be looking for you, unless it's like a meeting or something like that. Now, this is ideal if you are working a full-time job. Let's say you're working full-time, you go to work outside of your home or in your home. Maybe, I always like to use the bank as an example because years ago, I worked at the bank and hated it. So I like to use the bank as an example. So you work for the bank, and I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, and this is like banking central over here. So you work for the bank, you're working 9 to 5, 8:30 to 5:30, however it works, whether you're going into the office or have to be logged into Teams or at your desk all day. Deadline specific virtual assistant projects is what you want to be focused on. Not something where you're trying to work 2 full-time positions at the same time. That can get really messy and really confusing all at one time. Imagine you got to be on 2 Zoom calls at the same time. What are you going to do? So you definitely don't want that. You want it to be something that, you can do after hours. If you're working a part-time job, deadline specific is perfect. Something that you can do after hours. If you're open, you're building your virtual assistant business and you're in a situation where you're doing it full time, then you can take on several different clients at one time. Several different social media clients or writing clients or bookkeeping clients or whatever it is that you may be doing, you can take on several at one time and fit it into your schedule, all based on your availability. And your situation may be based on seasons, like when school's in versus when school's not in. Maybe in the summer, you have less availability than you do during the winter and spring months. So it makes it so much easier. Again, this is the ideal situation. It could look like this. You have, let's say you're writing articles. Maybe you also do some research and you also create social media content. You would be setting up what that schedule looks like if you're going to start in the morning, in the afternoon, late at night. The key for you to stay organized and not procrastinate and put things off is to have your own set office time. And it could be different every single day. Mondays, maybe you don't want to start off at 8 o'clock in the morning on Mondays because it's Monday. You can start later on things, but having a set schedule, that's going to be ideal for you so that things don't fall through the cracks. Use something like Asana, some type of project management tool that you plug in all your different projects and the deadlines. And then maybe set it to an earlier deadline so you can have it done ahead of time. So if it's due on the 15th of every month, then maybe you set your deadline for the 12th so that you've got some time to review, make adjustments, do whatever it is that you need to do. And this is something that you look at every single day to see what's going on for the next day or what's going on for the current day so that you can stay organized. If there's anything that you need to remind your client of, maybe they give you content or give you ideas or their content calendar, and then you create from there or you write from there, or maybe they give you recordings and you create everything for the month from there. And you want it, by the 5th, you give your client a deadline to get everything to you. If a newsletter is supposed to go out by the 20th, that's the deadline, when your client wants to go out. When would you like to have everything that you need for that newsletter, including them reviewing to make sure it looks how they expect it to look and any drafts? I always like to give clients a deadline so I know we're going to have all of this stuff by this time, and then we have plenty of room to take off and do what we need to do. Now, after you submitted a review to your client, it's on them in regards to how long they take. They know their deadline is the 20th. If they're dragging their feet, you want to kind of push them along, give them reminders. Hey, we need to get your approval ahead of time so we can get this out by the date, whatever the set date is. But the biggest key for you is going to be having some type of project management system so you have those reminders and staying on top of when all your deadlines, project deadlines, client submission deadlines for you to get you things, and anything else related to that. So you're going to stick closely to your calendar and to that project management tool so that you can keep things moving. You're always ahead of schedule and you're not missing any of those deadlines. I love to hear any questions that you have as it relates to working with clients in deadline specific projects. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, just put your comments below. If you're watching on the website, which for whatever reason, I forget that you can comment on the website too, post that below. If you're listening on your drive to work or from work, thanks so much for taking me along on your commute today. I appreciate you for listening. You have a wonderful and fantastic day.